Good morning. No. Can you hear it? Good morning. Oh, good. What a great breakfast, eh? Let's have a... Thank you all and welcome to our Canvas Sunday. I do have a quick announcement. Before we start our service. Next weekend, if we could have your attention, please, chatty ones over there. Next weekend's a very exciting event, the installation of our Reverend Danny Weber. And we're still looking for some volunteers on the Sunday, particularly to prepare some food. We have very simple recipes for folks to follow. It's a potluck, but due to dietary restrictions, we're doing a few items that several people are cooking. So please see Marilyn Hunter, Joanne Deere. Afterwards, we have a full house coming for the service and the potluck dinner, so we still are looking for some contributions. Thank you very much in advance.
Please feel free to keep your coffee cups in at your tables or wherever you're seated. And if you have any other dirty dishes, I'd ask that you take them out to the kitchen. We'll get started in 4-ish minutes. You can go back to talking.
Good morning and welcome to the first Unitarian Breakfast Bistro of Hamilton. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to say that our board of directors serves us in many ways, and today with the help of many volunteers, they have prepared and served us our delicious breakfast. So please give them and the volunteers a huge round of thank you. In addition to those of us who are in the sanctuary, we welcome those who are with us online this morning. If you have not already done so, please turn off your cell phone unless you're using it to access the sound system. Let me just see if I've done that myself. Okay, we're good. My name is Brad Berquist, and I am one of this year's Canvas co-chairs, and I am this morning's worship leader. Also contributing to this morning's service are our minister, Reverend Danny Weber, our other Canvas co-chair, Leslie Brunskill, and our music team. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your journey of faith or search for meaning, You are one of us, and you are welcome in this house of worship. Our mission is to nurture one another, serve the community, and inspire action to heal the world. We here in Hamilton are not the first people on this land, nor will we be the last. We are situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, this is a mouthful. The I practiced this, honest. The Haudenosaunee, and the Mississaugas. We acknowledge our connection to these people and to the web of all existence. We seek to be respectful stewards of this place while honoring the past and preparing for the future. Now, please settle into your seats for this morning's prelude.
Good morning, everyone.
Our chalice represents the light of hope at the center of our faith tradition. Its flame draws us into our time of worship and community. It reminds us of our connection to Unitarian Universalists all over the world. Please join me in our chalice lighting words. May this flame be our light of friendship and love.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I am Reverend Danny Weber, and I use they, them pronouns. And what a full room. Thank you so much for being here. It's great. Our call to worship this morning was written by one of my seminary professors, the Reverend Leslie Takahashi. So I invite you to settle into our worship this morning with these words. To worship means to consider that which has worth. Today, we consider with gratitude the many gifts of this community, the opportunity to be affirmed in who we are and to offer that affirmation to others, the chance to stand up together to help remake the world in the ideal of justice, the freedom to choose one's own path to truth and to learn from the travelogues of others, the space to expand one's own spirit and to reconnect after busy or perhaps humdrum weeks with the sustaining truth of one's life. Regular reminders that we must see our world through the lens of love and the aspiration to consider all life as precious, for it If all of it is made of stardust, how can it not be wondrous? So this morning, let's welcome all of the gifts with gratitude, for they have been paid for with many currencies. The blood of the martyrs who died so that we could have a free religion. The sweat of those who persisted in justice's name against hostility and adversity. The tears of those who struggled to build better lives for those in this life. The questions of our children as they understand the world anew and offer their understanding to us with a fresh lens. The laughter and joy of those giddy with the embrace of community. The dollars and cents of those who gave what they could and then stretched a little more. The infinite small acts of service that make the parts greater than the whole, done by those who knew themselves in sympathy with our purposes. And so today, we consider with gratitude and humility what it means to pay forward what has been paid forward for us. And now, with all of this, let us enter into this worship with gladness in our hearts. And we begin by singing hymn number 318 in the great hymnal, "We Would Be One," or the words will be on the walls behind me. Given how busy August and September have been for our family ministry, Jenny has taken this Sunday off, which means I get to read our story today. Today's story is called A Penny's Worth, and it was written by Kimberly Wilson and illustrations were done by Mark Hoffman. Stamp! Hot off the minting press, Penny sparkled. But day after day, Penny watched other money come and go while she was ignored, forgotten, stuck in a sticky situation. This is nonsense, she thought. Howdy, buckaroo, Big Bill said. Why the long face? I want in on the action too, Penny cried. Sorry, partner, it takes 100 of you to do what I can do. But I'm a pretty Penny, and she planned to prove it. Ding, 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 ding. Arcade games, Penny cheered. Whoa, cool your copper. Quarter stopped her. Slot surfing is for quarters only. You're 24 cents short. What? But I'm sensational. Quarter got ready to show off his tubular moves. I'm coming with you, Penny shouted. Slots can be gnarly, Quarter warned. Surf at your own risk. Penny took the plunge anyway. Hang loose, little dude, Quarter called. Clink, clink, clunk. I wish I measured up, Penny thought. Penny kept a lookout for her next change. Penny candy? I was made for this. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Dime began drawing a diagram. You need 10 cents to be worth a dime. But it's penny candy. Time for a quick history lesson, Dime said. Did you know pennies used to pay for gobstoppers, lollipops, and even licorice sticks? I knew it, Penny rejoiced. But now, candy costs more. Disappointment spread across Penny's face. Keep your head up, little one. I wish I were worth more, Penny sniffed. Rip! Penny wriggled free, charged on, and knocked into Nickel. Sorry, didn't see you there. Nobody does anymore, Nickel sighed. But you're 5, Penny exclaimed. I bet together we could do something worthwhile. That's only 6 cents, he grumbled. We don't add up to much. It's worth a try, Nickel declined. I wish I were enough on my own, Penny slumped. Then Penny saw the headline. Opinion, news, and essays. The Great Penny Debate. Are they worthless? I'm not worth anything? This threw her into a tailspin and sent her over the edge. Gasp! Plink, plunk. Tattered and torn, Penny imagined life as a sewer scent. Ignored, forgotten, stuck. Heads up, another Penny said. We're good luck when we put our best face forward. Penny perked up. Good luck? Curious, she followed. Penny clung to a shoelace, and when thrown for a loop, she caught a wave. Cowabunga, dude! Then she stopped, dropped, and rolled, but lost control. Too fast, and crash. And then they were pennies, glowing, flying, flipping, kids searching, smiling, tossing. Penny couldn't make heads or tails of it. But something inside her changed. With her best face forward, Penny caught the eye of a child. This is my time to shine. She listened to his whisper. A wish! Penny knew how important wishes could be. She beamed. He can count on me. The child tossed Penny into the air. Up, up, up she flew. Leading with her heart, she dove head first. Twist, sparkle, splash. The child smiled. Wishes do come true, Penny said. I'm priceless. And for the first time, everything made sense. We are an intergenerational community here, and it's such a joy to have our children in the sanctuary with us. But there is a children's programming happening down in the fellowship hall, so if any of the kids or parents want to go down there, they are more than welcome. And now I invite Brad forward.
Thank you, Danny. One of the pleasures of being a Canvas co-chair is the opportunity to provide a personal testimonial and to share a few words with you about this year's Canvas. For those of you who don't know me, I am a recently retired management accountant. I have been married to my wife, Eleanor, for 41 years. I have 3 adult children, 2 grandchildren, and I've been a member of this church for 38 years. On the strength of my mother's love of God in church, I grew up as a member of the Delta United Church here in Hamilton. There, as a child, I have to say that I endured many years of Sunday school. Fortunately, that was followed by many more enjoyable years in church youth groups. But in my 20s, I drifted completely away from the church, and I shed my belief in the Holy Trinity. While I no longer consider myself a Christian, many of those early teachings that I endured proved to be the seeds of the strong Unitarian Universalist values I hold today. It was during my drifting years that my mother attended a service at this church. The church was on Aberdeen at the time. It was a service where Joanne Waters, a close family friend and longtime member of this church, was installed as a chaplain at the church. After the service, my mother reported to me that it was a very unusual church, and that during the service there was no prayer and no reference to God. A light went on for me that day. But it was not until 10 years later, after graduating from university, getting a job, marrying Eleanor, and having our first child, that I decided to visit the Unitarian Church. The church had moved to Lock Street by then. Somewhat ironically, the first Sunday I visited was Canvas Sunday. And rather than being turned off by the very direct appeal for financial commitment, I came away from the service having been inspired by the music, the sermon, and the friendly welcome I received. In the weeks that followed, Eleanor and I checked out the church. We very much enjoyed the services and discovered the close parallel between our beliefs and the UU purposes and principles. 3 months later, we were members. Soon after joining, I was welcomed into the Religious Education Committee by Barb Wallace. And before long, I found myself serving on the Finance Committee, then the board, and then 10 years later becoming the president of the board. Those were busy years, full of meetings, planning, problem solvings, and a move to this building. But most of all, it was filled with community. After my 3 children graduated from church school, my involvement gradually slowed down, and it's safe to say that for the last 10 years or so, I have been resting, still connected, but not very active. And throughout those investing years, I remained invested in this church, not just because I wanted to be a member of the congregation and to make an annual pledge, but because being a UU is an important part of who I am. Unitarian Universalism is a faith, not one that I chose, but it is simply an innate part of my character. Being invested in this church helps me to nurture that faith and to be the better me. With my retirement this year, I have been given the opportunity to further invest in the stewardship of this church. With only a slight protest, I let myself be pulled back into the fray by Sue Stewart Green's persuasive nature. I am co-leading the canvass. I will be rejoining the committee work of the church, and I will assume a number of accounting tasks from which Bruce McPherson has earned a well-deserved break. It feels good to be back in the flow of things, to be reconnecting and recommitting, to be reinvesting. And that brings us to today, the beginning of Canvas Week, and the last of our 4-week series on stewardship. The stewardship of belonging, of compassion, of gratitude, and finally of investing, committing our resources with the expectation that they will grow in value. Over the past 4 months, our Canvas team has been working with a focus on stewardship and equitable giving. And 12 days ago, all congregants received a Canvas package from us and Stephanie Ompu, our board chair, promoting these themes and providing information that we trust you will find helpful as you consider your pledge for 2026. Collectively, we have set ambitious goals for this church to grow in number, in impact on the community, and in service to each other. To support this, we have an equally ambitious goal to grow our canvas by 10% this year, from 310,000 to 340,000. If you have not already done so, please take time to review the information that you received from us and reflect on your willingness and ability to invest and provide stewardship in this community. Eleanor and I did this on Thursday, and it was a challenge, but I'm happy to report that we have submitted our pledge. I confess we did not reach the recommended pledge amount according to the giving guide, but we have stretched and have made a notable increase in our pledge this year. I also have to confess that earlier this week, Reverend Danny gave the church leadership a gentle nudge and asked them to make their pledge before this morning. And I am pleased to report that as of 10 p.m. last evening, we have received pledges totaling $154,374. And we are 45% of the way towards our goal. As they say during pledge breaks on public television, we only need 126 more pledges before we can return to our regular programming. Yes. Yeah. Now, I should say that so far the results have been sensational. And this morning already, we have received pledges over $15,000, which puts us past the halfway mark towards our goal. As all of us have time, talent, and treasure to share, some of us can give more, some less, but what matters most is that each of us invests something of ourselves in proportion to our interests and abilities in the shared future of this congregation. You will be helping all of us by making a pledge during this Canvas Week. We are wanting all the pledges in before the week is out. If you are a member of the congregation who has not pledged before, we are making a special appeal to you to make a pledge this year. If you have any questions at all about Canvas, please reach out to any member of the Canvas team or visit the Canvas table in the foyer after the service. You will even be able to submit your pledge if you are ready to do so. Our offering to this church, whether through pledged giving or as part of our church service, is a reminder of the spirit of generosity that is at the heart of our religious community. We will now take up this morning's offering, and as we do, I invite you to reflect on the multiple dimensions of stewardship and the many ways that you are invested in this church. Thank you. And to the community are appreciated. Thank you.
Let's take a moment for meditation. In these moments of contemplation and meditation, I invite you to relax. Close your eyes if you feel like it, if it feels safe for you, and breathe deeply. Following our reading, there will be a few moments of silence, followed by music. During the music, you are welcome to come up and light a candle of joy, sorrow, or gratitude. This morning's reading was written by Reverend Victoria Weinstein, and she was inspired by the Unitarian minister A. Powell Davies, who once preached about the prophet Amos, who prayed, "Help us remember, O God, that from those to whom much has been given, much is expected." Let us join our hearts and spirits in prayerful reflection. To whom much is given, even more is asked. We have been given the bounty of this beautiful day, and we've been given the gifts of the worship tradition that draws us together in this house of hope and memory, of learning, of healing, of growing, and of serving. We lift up grateful hearts. We have been given the inspiration of our siblings in faith who walk with us the path of the free religious life, who companion us in our joys and our sorrows, and who are ours by some design of fate or necessity to care for and to love, to forgive and to cherish for this time in our lives. We lift up grateful hearts. We have been given minds with which to wonder and to reason, and we have been given voices to speak and to sing and to shout against injustice, and we have hands to work and to build the better world we have for ourselves and our children. We are asked to use them all in the service of love and justice. We lift up grateful hearts. We have been given the divine spark as children of God, all whose health and wholeness requires us to tend to the life of the soul. In our rushing and our doing, may we not forget whose we are and what we truly are. Not human beings having a spiritual experience, but spiritual beings having a human experience. We lift up grateful hearts. We ponder this mystery together, glad for one another, blessed by the abundance of our lives, and called to give abundantly of ourselves to all. Amen. We come now to a time in our service when we affirm the ways that we are connected in this life, as we live into the truth that what affects one of us affects us all. In a spirit of community care, let us open our hearts to one another and all that we hold sacred. We hold in our hearts today Roberta Weiss, who shares, I am writing this on Thanksgiving Monday. It's the first time in 2 weeks I have found the words to share with you the news of the death of 2 of my family members. My sister-in-law Stephanie, wife to my brother Peter for 57 years, passed away on Sunday, September 28th, from complications associated with Alzheimer's. I have wonderful memories of time spent with them when they would visit our family in Cambridge, Ottawa, and Hamilton, as well as my visits with them in their homes in Indiana and Colorado. A mere 7 days after Steph's death, my brother Paul died in Kitchener on October 7th from complications associated with heart and lung disease. Paul was 3 years older than I, so he has been part of my entire life until now. I have lasting memories of growing up with him within a loving family and then spending considerable time with him during his last 20 plus years while he was settled in Kitchener, after many years of living on the East Coast and then Alberta and BC. While my family and I are very saddened at our losses, I can say on this Thanksgiving Day that I am grateful that Paul and Steph were a very important part of my life for so very long. Please hold them and my family in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you for sharing this with us, Roberta. We know that there are sorrows among us too tender to share, and we hold those in the silence of our hearts this morning. Please remember, you are never alone in your sorrows. Among the struggles and sorrows of this life, there is also joy to share. Milestones, blessings, and celebrations of all kinds for which we are moved to give thanks. We celebrate the joys among us and we rejoice in happiness that overflows throughout our community. And now we turn to our practice of gratitudes. The work of our church is never done. It is always humming along. Sometimes this work happens in visible ways, like when you show up for pancake breakfast. And other times it is unnoticed. But all of this work is worthwhile and worthy of celebration and gratitude. This morning, I personally would like to offer gratitude to Sarah Ayerst and Mac De Silva, who helped to co-host our Third Space Cafe on Friday night. Sarah gathered many people to join her in mending and sharing the skills of sewing and mending with those who were keen to learn, and Mac was available to help with computer questions. Thank you to the two of them and all who participated in our skill swaps at the cafe. If you would like to have a joy, sorrow, or gratitude shared with the larger congregation, you can do so by clicking the link on the church's homepage online, or by writing something in the binder at the side of our sanctuary. May we know that we are never alone in the joys, sorrows, or gratitudes that we hold in our hearts. It feels like the first days of my ministry here. I get to do lots of talking today. I'm not sure how much it shows or how much all of you will have experienced it, but this month of stewardship has been so busy. In the last 4 weeks, we have stewarded belonging by creating 6 journey groups and organizing more than 45 people into those groups. We've started the Friday night Third Space Cafe events, hosting 3 so far, and more than 30 people have joined us for social time together. An opportunity to gather together in less structured and more social ways helps us with our community building and our belonging. Besides these social gatherings and spiritual community spaces, we have also had a celebration of life, a retreat to discuss children and youth religious exploration, 2 very large and successful sales in our parking lot, a pancake breakfast, and next week, an installation ceremony. We've been spending a lot of time building up our understandings and practices around belonging. We've also deepened our stewardship to compassion and deepened our commitment towards living compassionately. After the sermon, where I asked you all to sit with the questions, what is mine to do and what am I called to do? I had so many people tell me that they had been sitting with those questions on repeat for the following week. That the invitation to find the one thing that they can do to help make the world a better or different place, rather than the overwhelming desire to fix everything, was a balm that helped them get unstuck. But besides getting unstuck, there have been multiple people who have spoken up for a chance to do something that they have wanted to do or that they have been thinking about doing. I've had several different people recently tell me that they would like to help out in ways that they hadn't already been doing so. Trying new practices and finding new ways to show up in community has been a beautiful act of compassion. We began this exploration of stewardship. When we began this exploration of stewardship, we started with a definition: taking care of something we value and enabling it to grow. A practice of committed ethical value that embodies the responsible planning and management of resources. And now, on this 4th Sunday, focusing on stewardship, I am being pulled back into these definitions and recognizing that what we have been stewarding all along, what I hope you have been stewarding all along, is your relationship with the First Unitarian Church of Hamilton. Now we shift away from the idea of stewarding different aspects of our faith and our values to the concept of investing in that stewardship. The idea of investing always brings up this notion of money and savings, but what if we invested in stewardship? What would it look like, and how might it change the way we show up in UU Hamilton community? I've been thinking about this a lot, and I stumbled upon a blog post written by my mentor and very dear colleague, Reverend Sean Gauthier, which he wrote and posted on the church's website on January 3rd, 2024. The post was entitled "Investment Advice from Your Minister," and I'm going to share it with you now. As the calendar turns from one year to the next, it's a natural time to take stock of the returns on whatever investments we have made within our lives over the prior year. With anxiety over the economy so often in the news, we could easily be seduced into thinking our bottom line is the only meaningful measurement of our lives. But it is not, and it never really has been. After all, when was the last time you attended a memorial service where the balance sheet of the dearly departed bank account was talked about? Unless that person had somehow managed to be extraordinarily generous with whatever they had. While we cannot always forecast our financial futures with as much certainty as we might like, there is much we can do to ensure a healthy, balanced, and meaningful life. So here are my best spiritual investment advice to you. Number 1, engage. Jump in with everything you've got. Don't hold back. It's like the hokey pokey. You put your whole self in, you take your whole self out, you put your whole self in, and shake it all about. The poet Wendell Berry was so right when he said, "Every day you have less of a reason not to give yourself away." Number 2, diversify. Broaden your involvement, branch out, have a spiritual life that extends beyond Sundays, listen to different opinions, seek out new perspectives, consider possibilities you never have before. Number 3, go with your gut. Trust your instincts and be guided by that still, small voice within. Regularly ask yourself what you are feeling called to do with your life, and when the way becomes clear, go for it. Number 4, follow your bliss. Invest your time and energy and resources into things in this world that matter most to you. Give the labor of your heart and your hands to making the difference that you alone can. And number 5, be in it for the long haul. Deepen your commitment to what spiritually sustains you and this community. Reach out to others. Join a small group. Come to see Coffee Hour as an adventure. Help out with what needs to be done. Take on responsibility. Take up leadership. Take your spiritual development seriously. As we move into this new season, this is the soundest advice I can offer. As your advisor, please let me know if you'd like to discuss your investment strategy for the year ahead. Thank you so much, Reverend Sean, for these words of wisdom. If you'd like an opportunity to meet him, he will be here next Sunday. Investing in your own spiritual life, and a spiritual life that recognizes that we are all inextricably connected to one another in this interdependent web, helps us to reframe what it might mean to give of our financial ability. Earlier, Brad spoke about his relationship to UU Hamilton. Joining the church 38 years ago, raising 3 children here in this community, being deeply involved, perhaps burning out, although I don't think he used those words, and then staying a little bit further away, feeling connected but resting on the sidelines. The ways in which we are able to show up and the ways in which we can be present shift and change over the weeks, months, and years that we find belonging here. Like our welcoming words this morning and every Sunday morning, whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your journey of faith or search for meaning, today you are one of us, and you are welcome in this house of worship. Whether your financial cup has you striving and is only 1/4 full, or it is flourishing and overflowing, you are welcome here, and you are an integral part of the UU faith community, as we spoke about before. All of our pennies are worthy. Or your relationship to First Hamilton is essential, like I can't imagine my life without this community, or slides down to the interested. I attend when something is interesting, but this community isn't critical in my life. You are welcome here and wanted, and your voice and your presence are needed here. The mission of this community, the reason that we gather together every week and do the work that is necessary for an organization to exist, is to nurture each other, serve community, and inspire action that heals the world. And above and beyond that, we are a community that gathers together in times of joy and sorrow to practice and build a world on our shared values. Values of interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, equity, all built on the foundation of love. When we gather here in these walls, we are considering that which has a worth, and a community grounded in and continuously practicing these values is one of worth in my mind. A community and a practice that I have chosen to devote my life to. And so I have been diving deep into these contemplations and pondering how important it is to lean into these values, especially in times when the world is fractured and when everything feels tumultuous. It is in times when our values of justice and equity are at risk, when people who hold power over the majority of society shock us with notions of scarcity and individualism, that we need to double down on our practices of interdependence and generosity. I believe that it is important to shift our conversations away from a place of fear, self-interest, and fault, and move our conversations towards concepts of gifts, generosity, and abundance. Ways in which we move that conversation forward is, one way in which we can move our conversation forward is to think about best case scenarios rather than worst case scenarios. Because the truth is that every situation is going to have both a best and worst case. So let us always veer towards the best case scenarios. And as we move into this Canvas week, I will hold the idea of abundance and the best case scenario. And I expect that when Brad and Leslie come back next Sunday, they will be here telling you that we will make our goal of $340,000, because we have the ability to make it so. And so let us do so. And now we will sing our closing hymn. Number 299, Make Channels for Streams of Love. Words on the wall behind me or in the gray hymnal, 299.
Make channels for the streams of love, where they may broadly run, and love has overflowing streams to fill them everyone. But if at any time we cease such channels to provide, the very fountains of love for us will soon be parched and dried. For we must share, and we would keep this gift of love. We cease to give, we cease to have. Such is the law of love.
May the light of understanding guide you, the warmth of compassion fill your hearts, and the spirit of community keep you connected. As we move forward this Canvas Sunday, may our investments in stewardship strengthen the bonds of our congregation. Go forth in peace and with open hearts. Amen. Please remain seated for our postlude.
Now is the time for hearts to be open. No better time, this moment of grace. This is the day we can't wait for tomorrow or someday. Now is the time. Now is the time for planting and tending seeds born of hope, commitment, and faith. Cherish this day and the power in knowing why we say, now is the time. Love is the lesson and the legacy we know. Now is the season for the seeds of love to grow. And so, now is the time for vision and courage, witness to love, to spirit and truth. No better way than the promise of this one, so we say, now is the time. Now is the time for hearts to be open. No better time, this moment of grace. This is the day we can't wait for tomorrow or someday. Now is the time.